A rescue ship carrying 60 migrants picked up from rubber boats in the Mediterranean Sea arrived in a Spanish port on Wednesday after being refused entry by Italy and Malta. Tens of thousands of migrants have reached European shores this year so far, and southern European countries are refusing entry to the latest arrivals unless their burden is shared.
Migrants. Unfortunately, almost 500 other people have died in the last 4 days trying to cross from Libya to Europe.
European coastal countries have been criticized for refusing to allow migrants to disembark.
Look, during these last 6 months, 50,000 people have arrived in Europe from North Africa through the Mediterranean Sea. Aren't we, 500 million Europeans, capable of managing the arrival of 50,000 people? The borders, and this trip is a good example, the borders we have in Europe are not Greek or Italian or Spanish borders, they are European borders.
But the waves of migrants from Africa may not stop for decades, and many Europeans are concerned about the burden they pose. Anti-immigrant movements are on the rise, and some countries refuse to accept any migrants. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said in an interview aired Sunday that the so-called frontline states need help processing the migrants.
Die Transitzentren haben eine Begrenzung.
The transit centers are limited because according to our Constitution, we are only allowed to limit a person's freedom for a maximum of 48 hours. That means that within this time, which is until the end of the next day, the transfer to the next country must be completed.
French President Emmanuel Macron is pushing for the creation of centers for processing migrants in North Africa, so only those who are granted asylum can come to Europe.
But what we have to do is obviously first to fight against smugglers. That's my top priority. That's what we do in Sahel. That's what we want to do with Libyan governments. That's why we have to fix the Libyan situation to stop that.
European countries have long called on Libya to do more to stop the smuggling of people from its shores. But the illegal business is flourishing as desperate people pay exorbitant amounts to get on a rubber boat that may take them to death or a better life. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.